Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
We are headed to country number 3 today.
Woohoo! Country number 3, here we come.
This is also going to be our first land border crossing of this trip. So we're going to see how it goes.
Take me on a big adventure, baby. If we stay together, we could stay young forever. Where would you go if you could time travel?
Luckily, we were completely packed last night, so we kind of just ran out in a scramble, got our bags, and headed out.
Today's bus includes free airport pickup, so today's bus includes free hotel pickup, so they just picked us up from the hotel and now we're heading to the bus terminal. The flight to Saigon alone would have been like $350. At least bags would have been included on this flight, but the bus is only $70 for both of us, so significant savings.
I am so excited to get to Vietnam. I've been looking forward to this country the moment we arrived in Southeast Asia.
They said to be ready for pickup at 8:45, even though the bus ride is at 9:45, so we thought, that was a little early, but right on the dot, 8:45, they showed up. And last night was a little bit rough. I ended up having to stay up until like 3 a.m. doing work because for the first time on this trip, there was a catastrophic failure in the servers back in my office in Albuquerque. And guess who gets to deal with that? Luckily, someone else was able to take over after I took care of about half of it, so I didn't have to stay up all night, but 3.5 hours of sleep was not great. I'll try and sleep on the bus. Now we're switching from the little bus to a big bus. Now that we are on the big bus, we're going to give you a little bit of a seat tour. For starters, we have an outlet, which is really cool. International Standard Outlet.
And they also have this unique cup holder. It's a good.
And we also get a ton of leg room here, so it should be a pretty comfortable ride. And these seats also have some pretty serious reclining on them.
Is this a sleeper bus or what?
At the bus terminal area, they have some really nice bathrooms that are very clean, and they also provide toilet paper, which is kind of unheard of over here. And it also feels like we're in Singapore.
Oh yeah, I don't even have to go.
But super nice area, very comfortable, lots of seating. It looks like there might be some food options, but yeah, really nice spot.
I'm laughing because most of us use the women's restroom. I went to wash my hands, I was like, what are you doing here?
I just want to point out that the sign to the men's bathroom, the one right back there, is pointing in the direction of the women's bathroom, so.
Yeah.
This is also a massive bus. We're about to leave in like 15 minutes, and it looks like there might only be one other family, so might take advantage and spread out across the bus because they're sitting like right in front of us, but if we have an entire bus, we might move. And we are off about 5 minutes early. I wonder if we'll get there 5 minutes early. They just passed some snacks around and we got these little croissants. Our first rest stop about 2.5 hours into the drive, and this one's been pretty easy. I really like the panoramic windows on the bus because you get a great view of the whole country going by.
The ride has also been going pretty smoothly. Which is so helpful, especially because we didn't really get that much sleep tonight.
Yeah, there's a lot less hard braking and a lot less honking and no hard swerving in the big bus. It's a very smooth ride. This place is kind of a giant store. They have a whole bunch of clothes, they have drinks, they have like soaps and stuff back here. And it's also a convenience store, and it looks like there's a couple little restaurants set up out front. And they have a bathroom. At least the men's bathroom is pretty clean. How's the women's? Yeah?
Yeah.
Pretty clean. No toilet paper like most bathrooms, but pretty clean. We are about 5 hours into our journey, and we made it to the Cambodia and Vietnam border.
Bye, Cambodia.
Bye, Cambodia. While we were planning for this trip, there was very limited information about this specific bus ride or even other bus operators. So I just want to take advantage that we're on the ground right now and give you the most up-to-date information. Before getting to the border, you go through customs, and they have everybody get off of the bus and hand a customs official our passports. That includes our Cambodia visa that got stapled into our passport when we entered, and also our Vietnam visa that we printed out before. Then we all get back onto the bus, and we hang out on the bus for a few minutes, which is why we were so confused earlier. But then we keep driving to this place, which is like a big duty-free mall and also a restaurant. So we're breaking here for 25 minutes for lunch. We already had our food, so we're just hanging out, enjoying the air conditioning. But there's a bunch of like high-end stores and a bunch of booze if you want to get your duty-free shopping on. Here's also the restaurant menu in case you're interested in getting food. It is a little pricier than other places in Cambodia, but once again, captive audience. And I mean, if you're hungry, $4 for a plate of food isn't that bad. So the bathrooms here are nice and clean. They have toilet paper and they work. The internet here is also pretty decent. You're not going to be streaming movies or anything, but if you have to buy an eSIM or download some maps or something, this would be a good place to do it before you lose connectivity in Vietnam. But one concerning thing right now to me is that we're not in possession of our passports. After handing them to a customs official, we drove here and we haven't seen him since. I believe that they're either in possession of our bus attendant or someone that's an immigration official. I don't really like someone else being in possession of our single point of failure, but I'm sure that they have a system in place. They know what they're doing. The immigration process into Vietnam was a breeze, so we were officially stamped in and in Vietnam.
Welcome to Vietnam.
Country number 3.
Woo-hoo.
So the reason that we weren't in possession of our passports is that while we were all at the rest stop, the bus attendant was taking our passports through Cambodian immigration and then through Vietnamese immigration to stamp us out of Cambodia and stamp us into Vietnam. So as we walked into the building, they just handed us our already stamped passports, and all we had to do was go through customs and scan our bags through an x-ray. Then they check your passport on the way out to make sure you have a stamp and a visa, and you're good to go. Whole thing took less than 5 minutes.
Yeah,
So-
it was a breeze. Probably one of the easiest ways we've entered in a country so far.
So I would say the bus is well worth it, just so you don't end up waiting in the long line at the customs and immigration here. Now we're just waiting for our bus to get through inspection, I guess. So we're just on the other end. I mean, we just crossed, but I feel like it's hotter and more humid on this side. And here comes our limousine. Back on the bus and headed to city number 5.
2 more hours. This morning they gave us some water and a really good croissant. And now that we crossed into Vietnam, they gave us coffees.
just got dropped off by the bus company, and it's like right in the heart of Ho Chi Minh. It feels like just a little strip mall booth. They drop us off in the big bus, and it took about 2 hours longer to get here, so it was actually a 9-hour bus ride, just because of the traffic getting into Ho Chi Minh. Oh yeah, we're in Ho Chi Minh, Saigon.
Saigon, yes, we made it.
But the traffic was brutal getting in. I do not envy our bus driver driving a manual transmission mega bus bumper to bumper traffic in Ho Chi Minh. We're waiting on a Grab over to our hotel. It is about $2 to get over there. Getting 3 hours of sleep is starting to catch up with us. So we're gonna be taking it very slow tonight. We got checked into our Airbnb here in Ho Chi Minh City, although we might be calling it Saigon pretty often because I think that's a bit of a cooler name. This is the first time that we're going to be staying in an Airbnb on our world trip, and it's because this is the first time the Airbnb actually made sense for the price and for the amenities that we get. Before we pass out, Yami is going to give you a quick little Airbnb tour.
This Airbnb is pretty much a hotel room. It looks just like the one that we were just in what city? In Phnom Penh. So here is the bathroom. I actually really like this bathroom. It looks nice and comfortable. I've had my fair share of not very comfortable bathrooms, so I really appreciate it. And ooh, here we also have a kitchen area that hopefully we can use when we're cooking some meals, making some coffee. Ooh, and there's even a microwave. Or is it an oven? It's a microwave.
First microwave in Southeast Asia.
Yeah. They also provided us like pots and pans so we could cook if we decide to. We are going to be here for a week, and I think we're just really excited to eat Vietnamese food. So we'll see if we even cook. Oh, and then I really like this space. Maybe for like a beer or something, but only one of us can sit there. Oh, that's so cute. We can eat dinner here. We could eat dinner there. Interesting. You know, I really like the use of the space. And then here's also a bed, nice and soft. And additionally, we have a TV as well, a nice workspace, and a couch. I love the view of those buildings over there. It's a cool skyscraper. Oh, and so they also provide us hangers, so if we decide to wash our clothes here, we can just let them dry. Wow, I really like the view.
Since we wanted to be right next to District 1 in Ho Chi Minh, this Airbnb made a lot more sense. We're right next to the river that is across from District 1, and we're only paying $30 a night here. Plus we get access to a common washer that's in the building, and we also get access to a kitchenette. So that kind of sold us, and especially since the hotel right next door to us that we can see from our patio is $250 a night, I think we got a pretty sweet deal.
Yeah, I think so too. And while we were doing our research, we also saw that Saigon is a more expensive city, like the most expensive in Vietnam. So, you know, even though we paid $30, you know, I've gotten more like in Cambodia. So it's like kind of weird, huh? Because we went from like really like nice $30 hotel rooms to this, which was still pretty nice, but the other one was really big. But,
yeah, I mean in Phnom Penh we were staying in a $23 a night hotel, which I think kind of skewed our perspective. But $30 is not bad at all. Mm-hmm. Only getting 3 hours of sleep is really catching up with us, so we have 3 tasks that we want to knock out as quick as possible. We need to get some Vietnamese dong, whole new currency and whole new exchange rate we need to learn. We need to get some water, and we need to get some food. And once those 3 tasks are accomplished, we're gonna hit those pillows pretty quickly. We just came to a Vietin Bank ATM, and I tried to pull 2.5 million Vietnamese dong, which would be a little bit over $100, but 100 using my exchange rate. And it said that was over the maximum transaction limit. So I tried 2 million and that worked. I wonder if that's the thing just at this ATM or if all the ATMs have some kind of limit built in. If you want to become a multi-millionaire, just come to Vietnam. These are the bills that the ATM spit out, a bunch of 500,000 dong bills. So we're just going to take one of these to a convenience store to break it, and that's also going to buy us dinner. Water for the first night is secured, And we're actually gonna carry it over to the restaurant we want to eat at right now because it closes in less than 10 minutes. And we've really had our eyes set on some banh mi as our first meal in Vietnam. They closed early, but we passed by a couple of good-looking local restaurants full of locals, so we might try one of those. All right, so banh mi didn't work out, and the other restaurants we found either didn't have vegetarian options because they were pork or chicken places, and the last one was just wicked expensive, like $10 a plate expensive. Since I feel like I'm about to collapse, I'm just buying ramen and heading back. We're still gonna be a bit adventurous and try some new ramen. We picked up dinner, breakfast, snacks, and also microwave pizza. Since we have a microwave, might as well make some microwave pizza. And everything came out to less than $5. I'm liking Vietnam. We're gonna get logged in, and I need to make sure that nothing else blew up during the day here, overnight back in Albuquerque. And then we're gonna pass out. So we'll see you tomorrow for our first exploration day of Ho Chi Minh.
We'll see you. Bye.